Everybody turn to the camera and say hi to Miss G.
Hi, Miss G.
Y'all, I have something I need to tell y'all. I'm really excited. I'm so excited to fail because failure is an opportunity of a lifetime. I already know what y'all are thinking. What is wrong with this crazy lady, right? Well, guess what? 80% of people actually fail to set goals for themselves. Of the remaining 20%, 70% fail to achieve the goals they've set in place. Now that's crazy. Today we're going to be looking into why failure should be a goal-setting opportunity by first looking at the problems of failure, secondly, the causes of failure, and thirdly, why you should use failure as a solution. First, let's get started by discussing the problems of failure. Failure is defined as lack of success. Within our societal idea of failure, there's a huge fundamental problem, and that's the fear of failure. Fear of failure is a debilitating mindset that will abort your desires and suffocate your dreams. When you fear to fail, you're basically telling yourself that you don't even care to try to achieve any of your goals. This subconsciously sabotages any chances of success in a number of different ways. Most people want to be successful in life and they don't want to not achieve their goals, but there are some people who actually have so much of a fear of failure that mentally and psychologically they fear failure way more than they want to even achieve success. It wasn't until I began studying this topic that I discovered that an intense and irrational sense of fear of failure is a condition called atikiphobia. According to a 2017 article in a health and wellness newsletter called Healthline, there are several different symptoms that you can identify for atikiphobia, like dizziness, sweating, loss of breath, feeling powerless, or an intense sense of anxiety or a loss of control. I don't know about y'all, but that sounds a lot like menopause to me, and I don't want any parts of either one of them. I've just explained the problems of failure, and so now I want to briefly highlight the causes of it. Extreme cases of someone struggling with atikiphobia can completely paralyze their quality of life and leave them feeling stuck. There are a number of different characteristics that causes the plight of failure. There are 7 most common reasons that are listed on success.com in a 2017 article published by Harvey McKay that says lack of persistence, lack of conviction, lack of discipline, rationalization, dismissal of mistakes, poor self-esteem, and a fatalistic attitude. In his mindset, he's thinking that these things can actually be valuable for us. But again, these are 7 of the most common causes of failure. A repetitious mindset harboring any one of these 7 things can actually lead to other causes of failure, such as depression or an extreme emotional distress, or even procrastination for that matter. Best-selling author Napoleon Hill wrote one of the most powerful books, Think and Grow Rich, that was published in 1937. He lists over 30 different causes of failure, with his number 1 reason being unfavorable hereditary background, which is some sort of brain deficiency that's pretty hard to correct easily. By now you're probably telling yourself, failure doesn't sound like fun, and what in the world I need to be excited about, right? Well, I'm glad you asked. There is, now that you know a little bit more about the problems and causes of failure, I finally want to discuss my last point, which is why you should look at failure as a solution. As I was saying, there's a famous quote inspired by Henry Ford that says, "Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently." This quote has actually been altered a number of different times over the years. And Henry Ford, some of you may know, who was the founder of Ford Motor Companies, actually wrote an autobiography titled My Life and Work. His work within this book is actually still inspiring people to this day. He wrote this book back in the 1920s, by the way. So there was a 1920 article in a magazine, May of 1920, from the magazine McClure, that actually specifically highlighted an excerpt from his book that stated, "One who fears failure limits his activities. Failure is only the opportunity more intelligently to begin again." So as you can see, the words kind of shifted and altered a little bit, but in my opinion, it still holds the same power. Although words were altered, and the meaning of this quote still holds the same power, in my opinion, that said, the solution to failure and the fear of it begins with you. Being transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's guaranteed that you're going to get knocked upside the head once or twice in life, right? But it's up to you to actually revise, regroup, and re-attack. I am my own case study, y'all, and I personally believe that the secret to life is a changed mindset. Sometimes you have to create a brand new belief to change up the way that you were raised, or whatever you were believing when you were being brought up. So redefine the meaning of fear and embrace it. After all, it is only false evidence appearing real, right? So in conclusion, now that we have discussed first the problems of failure, secondly the causes of failure, and then finally looking at failure as a solution, I encourage you and hope that you will stand with me in agreement that failure should be a goal-setting opportunity. There are too many claims out there that state failure is the key to success. If you're secretly living in fear, begin to ask yourself these questions instead. What if it does work? What if I can make it happen? What if I am good enough? Will Smith said it best. The best things in life are living on the other side of fear. So ladies and gents, yes, I am excited to fail, because failure is my opportunity of a lifetime. Thank you.